gentlemen. Oh, yes, boom, we are live. This is Tiho and the Arcane Bear. Thank you for joining us. This is live stream number 2 today. You guys, I hope you feel lucky for this because I'm putting a lot of energy into trying to produce viral videos. I'm not very good at it. Anyways, the point of this is we jumped up in Bitcoin's price this morning. I wanted to take a look at that. If you watched today's earlier video, I was telling you, I think it's a fuck you candle. It was basically something you would not normally ever see, which is a bunch of people going on open markets, buying Bitcoin to jack the price up, when that's not normally how the big players play. I did feel it was a direct relationship to what was going on in GameStop and probably likely in relationship to Elon Musk. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to dive in and we're going to take a look at the charts here. And we're going to start with Bitcoin today. So on the screen right now, you should be able to see BTC on the 4-hour. And one of the important parts here is to recognize that the selling pressure that came in very shortly after. So this morning when we were up at $37,000, I said we'd probably get a retest back down to around 33, maybe even as low as 32. The reason being is this big candle that we saw this morning, and especially this volume bar, that's not, let's say, healthy buying pressure. This was, again, I feel the market kind of giving a middle finger to the elite players in the financial regulatory sector by saying, fine, we'll play somewhere else. Now, again, you can see that we've actually declined quite quickly due to the selling pressure. Big whales, on average, want to accumulate at a lower price. So what they'll do is when they see big FU candles like this, they'll put a lot of sell pressure into the market to try to drive it down as low as it will go. Now, we may have hit that bottom now. And as you can see, we had our final secondary test yesterday. But this growth this morning was unhealthy. It was specifically, again, I think, a rather designed moment to share sentiment about a market. So as we get closer and closer here in the Heikin-Ashi charts, we're going to get probably a little bit of a clearer view. And as you can see, that it didn't take a whole lot of sell pressure to get us back down to almost our secondary test. And again, this is not a hugely positive sign, mostly because, again, this morning's growth was not sustainable for where we were. It was just like it could have been a few people basically going on the open market and jacking up the price as a part of the advertisement. You know, again, I want to give a big shout out to Elon Musk and everybody who works in the meme sector for the moon meme markets that we are now living in. I think it is a part of our new age that people recognize that our ability to collaborate together via the internet and look at data is probably going to be one of our strongest resources. Doing that rather unemotionally will be extremely important, although I was very emotional in today's video and yesterday's about GameStop. As we get back more into our technical analysis, the goal is to remove that emotion because it's one of our weakest points as humans in the charting and accumulation scale, because it gets in the way. You're like, oh my God, are the overlords going to like kick us out of Bitcoin? They've controlled everything before. Like, can't they just go short and change the game? And first off, go and follow me on Twitter. We had a nice article this morning come out on Be in Crypto. So thank you to Be in Crypto. We are now contributing author to that. So go check out that article. It's about Costa Rica and crypto. The other thing I wanted to go over here, where was it? This one. So this was a nice one documenting Bitcoin shared. It is from The Block. It is open interest on the CME futures Bitcoin traders by category short. Now, again, what's interesting here is that we've seen massive amounts of Bitcoin leave the open market, as we've gone over many times before in our Glassnode studies, that it is constantly decreasing. And when you see these are the CME futures open shorts are at an all-time high right now. And they're sitting there trying to push the market down. But again, what's unique about this market, it's very limited. And every day these shorts have to close to some degree or another. Now, futures and derivatives and option trading, they don't offer on the CME. But CME futures by hedge funds right now are basically trying to short the shit out of Bitcoin. And I think what they're going to see is probably another rendition of a short squeeze. They can put pressure on this market, but because of the limited scarcity and the limited supply, it's going to be harder and harder for them. As more companies and as over time, more countries realize, again, our article here about crypto alternatives for the US dollar in developing nations, I think will be a big changeover for sovereign nations basically adopting cryptocurrency. this is hugely important to remember, is that they're trying to change that limited scarcity that's on the open market. So I like what Wall Street's bet here has done. I kind of made a little bit of mistake earlier when I was like, first off, I guess being called a degenerate and a retard is like a term of endearment in our new sector and group. So I appreciate that, but also at the same time, there are people that say that without the endearing factor. So just be careful of that. Be careful of those people. I thought this was look at this. This person made $46 million trading GameStop with futures options calls, which is fucking hilarious. $46 million play. God damn, I'm gonna upvote that. Good job, guys. Congratulations on making life-changing gains. This is all gonna end up in the crypto sector, inevitably. Again, you should definitely join the Wall Street bets, just because you want to keep your eye on what's going on here. It represents the meme markets, and I think it's important to recognize the group mentality of working together. So a lot of the exchanges are down. I saw Crypto Man Rand make a fool of himself by being like, "Oh, they're trying to, so you can't buy." No, their servers get overloaded because a bunch of people who are probably dropping out of Robinhood are trying to sign up for Coinbase, and none of these servers are really designed to take that much infrastructure of people signing up and then trying to buy and attaching their bank accounts and do KYC. It's a lot of server data, and they're not Amazon. They're not paying billions of dollars for AWS servers, so they're never designed to really take on more than their monthly like uptake of new users effectively. So people like Crypto Man Rand, don't be an idiot. They're not trying to manipulate the markets in Coinbase. Coinbase is like one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin at $860 million. They're not going to make it try to screw you from being able to buy it. Like, it's in their best interest that you can accumulate. So again, here, this bottom one is Coinbase, which holds 870,000 Bitcoin. It is the largest exchange out there right now. So yeah, they're not going down to try to screw you. They're going down because their servers can't handle it. I don't know why people always go into conspiracy mode first. It's probably not your best bet. Find the simple Occam's razor answer. It's going to flavor your taste much better. So again, these crazy wicks that happened up and down this morning, I went over multiple times. Here, what we're looking at is basically, again, big players jumping in spot markets and driving the price up when big players normally try to buy OTC so they don't affect the price too much. Or if they are buying spot, they're trying to accumulate as the price hits below the value buy area, which at this moment is anything below 31,000 effectively. Anything below our point of control in this new box is the value buy area where institutions and hedge funds would be looking to accumulate more. So these giant wicks we're seeing up and down are kind of a conflagration. I believe I used that word correctly. A conflagration of events of, again, a bunch of people trying to give a fuck you to the markets via the GameStop fiasco that took place, and a bunch of other big players trying to drive the price down through what is most likely futures, which we went over here, the open shorts that are on the CME at the moment. Now, the CME here is in a very much weaker position. I bet you these squeezes are going to take place. I personally believe we're in the early stages of the bull market. Maybe I'm wrong, but who knows, right? So far, we have not been invalidated in our thesis, so I feel pretty good about that. But anything can happen. Be aware of that. Like, we could all get hit by an asteroid tomorrow, so just remember this, like, the future is not certain of any kind, shape, or form. So back to the charts here. This... Again, here you can see this big volume candle that sent us shooting straight up. That was not a healthy nor sustainable growth. This earlier day secondary test was, and this we would probably have wanted to see something a bit more like this first. So a lot of the big players are going to just trying to drag the price back down into the value zone, again, near the point of control here. Whoever bought this morning to drive the price up was willing to do so and take the hit on the difference of price of around, 10%? 14% without caring. And again, I think that there was a big middle finger to the system itself. Don't watch CNBC. What you want to do is ignore as much of the news as possible because it's nothing but noise. Okay, Ethereum beautifully came back down to our accumulation area, and I took my longs at the 1240, 1220 area the other day. We're seeing a lot of volatility in the markets in general right now. So learning how to be patient throughout this stuff. I am still suspecting that we get an SOS here, although this lower high at the moment does not make me feel that good. On the plus side, if we zoom in a little bit and we focus on our trading range that we just bounced up against, here we hit our point of control, we broke back up, and we've come back down, and we should build a bit more support in this 1340 area, I think, before really rocketing out. And that's what we went over earlier. So we will go over Doge now. First off, if you watched my videos the other day, I said don't buy Doge. Unless you're like a smart, really well-seasoned trader. Like I took a 50x long at 50 bucks the other day and yesterday and did well on that trade. But that's a lot of practice and experience that can do that. Generally, you want to follow the market leaders because they're providing you the sentiment that the market has poured billions of dollars into things that they believe in, whereas Doge is a meme coin. There is no real sentiment behind it, and the play that I was in yesterday was only temporary. So here we go. What's interesting about Doge too is we could be witnessing, my favorite of a sexy rounded bottom here, and we could actually be witnessing a reaccumulation. The Wall Street bets guys, again, the more they start to realize that they have power to play in the markets, if they collaborate, you might see that. I do suspect that it looks somewhat similar to this accumulation schematic 3 that we've been witnessing, schematic 4. So again, if you're new here, you're probably just going to lose money. But if you don't mind being a degenerate and a bit of a nonsense person like myself here, why not play around if you think it's worth a learning lesson? But I wouldn't focus on it to try to make money. If you've jumped into Doge because you think it's like, oh my God, it's gone up 1,000%, you're buying market hype, and that's pretty much how you will fail. But at the same point, again, I think we're seeing a reaccumulation schematic for Doge right now. So something like this, where we had our buying climax, our primary support, and then we've broken down into our previous trading range. Now, again, what's nice about this is it actually looks like a pretty confident structure. If we see a close above here, just because the markets are crazy and the Wall Street bets guys are kind of fun to play with, if I find more of their memes focusing on Doge, then maybe we'll jump in there. But again, remember, we just joined a revolution of people on Twitter all changing their titles to Bitcoin. So if you haven't yet, follow me on Twitter and change your description to say only Bitcoin. As you can see, Elon Musk, let's see, just says Bitcoin now. I love this tweet earlier too. He says, in retrospect, it was inevitable. His Doge tweet was sexy as fuck. By the way, this was his Doge tweet. Ball, frisbee, stick, the ultimate guide to the perfect game of catch. 10 tips on how to get the best treats for your dog. Oh God, Elon Musk is brilliant. I absolutely love that he's part of this fun. I love his changing titles from Mars into a beautiful planet too. That's frigging awesome. But again, remember guys, Doge's underlying fundamental value, even though I said fundamentals don't really exist. The only fundamental value here that exists right now is the same reason why GameStop went up. It said if you have a bunch of people that want to collaborate on moving the price, they will be able to do that. And again, the learning process here is that it looks like you're witnessing a almost perfect reaccumulation schematic 4, right? Bang, 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 bang. And probably a little bit more of a retest of this trading range would be fantastic to see before we might see a big blowout in Doge. Now, again, this is more for learning. I wouldn't trade here if you're new, especially. You're probably just going to get rinsed. I posted a tweet earlier that was shared or a meme that I shared. I thought was really kind of reminiscent of where Doge is at right now, which was this one. Here's the new trader stepping on a rake, getting smacked in the face with a rake, and here's the experienced trader doing like a 360 kick flip with a rake and then landing at the bottom of the staircase with the rake still hitting him in the face. It's kind of what Doge feels like at the moment. Although if you are the experienced trader, you can still maybe you land that trick on your rake. I'm not sure. But again, I'm not investing in Dogecoin. In fact, if anyone says the words investing in Dogecoin, they probably don't know what they're talking about. You could speculate on Dogecoin. That's fair because there is market volatility here. And that's always fun to play in the waves if you know how to surf. But if you don't know how to surf, you might fucking drown. So just be aware of that. I want to also highlight that GameStop, again, just this whole kind of fun thing that's been taking place is really important to keep an eye on. Again, what it represents is that the fundamentals don't matter. If people want to start buying a stock, you'll see a move of 700%, and very similar to what we were just watching in Doge. You get these big market moves, even though there's no necessarily fundamental technology. Like Dogecoin was created by a bunch of people who just like, well, let's make like a meme and we'll put like a dog there and we'll call it DOGE, and then the Doge was created, and it's an inflationary model, not a deflationary model like Bitcoin. Is like the opposite. So again, remember that. But here's the important thing. Look at this declining volume right now. That could be a big indicator that we are going to see another big burst in Dogecoin too. So if you want to, not financial advice, but if you want to be a ridiculous experienced trader and try to do a kickflip with a rake down a set of stairs, Dogecoin might be the perfect opportunity to do that this week. Again, trying to kickflip a rake down the stairs like our experienced trader here or a new trader here usually lands, you end up getting smacked in the face. But hey, you've been warned, so do whatever you want. Personally, I'm a big fan of Ethereum right now, though. I've said that earlier, and I will continue by that sentiment. Ethereum looks like it's in a much better position. We see market tests moving into the cycle right now. We do have futures opening on Ethereum on February 8th, so that will be another thing we want to keep an eye on. Over 528 people in the live stream right now. Please give us a thumbs up if you guys like this content. If you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit that little bell. That way when we go live, you guys will be notified. I have a goal of doing at least one live stream every day, and maybe even apparently sometimes two, just because, what else do I do with my life? Just double check in on that. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of... Okay, there we go. We're back online. Sorry about that. Must have had something go wrong with the channel there. So again, thank you guys all for joining us. I'll leave the charts open here. I'm probably not going to take a look at too much of your guys' stuff today. We will do that tomorrow. What's on your chain? That's a fun question. I'll answer that one. Here you can see the Arcane Bear logo. Well, maybe you can't see it, but there's the Arcane Bear logo. And then I've got this nice piece of meteorite that one of our private bear members had made for me. Shout out to Leah for making such a cool pendant. I love this. I really appreciate when you guys give me random gifts like that. Thank you. Okay, just a few questions and we'll jump offline today. My voice is super tired. Wow, you can't talk for like hours and not feel it. It's a big deal. Robert the Hood, absolutely don't delete Robinhood. Just get rid of that gross app and try Uniswap instead. Maybe join Binance if you're not in the United States, or go on to Coinbase if you are. Smash the like button. Thank you guys. Check SXP. We'll get there tomorrow. Again, I'm going to end today's episode. You should open a Discord server. We have a Discord server. It's for our private members only. You can join that by going to arcanebear.com/private. The links are in the description down below. I do not smoke, but thank you for thinking I'm that cool. I appreciate that. The next sentiment too is, we do have an open Discord server where if you hold 50 Bear in your MetaMask, you can access our kind of free community chat, but that's a different, longer story that I don't have time to go over today. Thoughts on ETC? Why would you buy ETC when you can just buy ETH? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. Could you please have a long-term look at OMG? We'll do that tomorrow if you guys subscribe and come back. This is today's end of episode. I'm already my voice is so tired. Anyways, with the Arcane Bear. Thank you guys for joining us for this final update for today. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll go over all your guys' questions. We'll take a look at more of the charts you guys are interested in, but just be patient. That's what I think. And enjoy the ride. And we'll see you guys again on the next episode. Bam.